From WAOW, all your coverage in stunning high definition. Newsline 9 at 6, your trusted resource.
Some Northwoods businesses gearing up for the upcoming holiday weekend.
And a resource center for needy families in Wisconsin Rapids keeps its doors open despite some money troubles.
But first, I'm Rob Duns in the newsroom as farmers are preparing for a potential fungus outbreak this summer. I've got the details coming up in a live report.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Melissa Langbatten.
And I'm Brian Groff. Potato farmers in Portage County have new concerns today about a fungus that could destroy their crops this season.
Newsline 9's Rob Duns is live in the newsroom with more on what they're doing to avoid it.
Yeah, believe it or not, the same fungus that caused the infamous potato famine of Ireland is not something of the past. In fact, it's very active today. The farmers here in Wisconsin are preparing for what could be a rough year if that fungus is able to work its way back onto our farms. Farmers, take notice. Our unusually wet spring has created conditions favorable for potato blight to take over your field. Easily transmitted. So far this year, no cases have been reported in Portage County, but farmers there aren't taking any chances.
It's nationwide for us because it can travel. I mean, we can get infected from areas. It can travel from New York, Prince Edward Island, clear across the state. I mean, it can be found in Minnesota, and we can have it the next week.
Large-scale farm operations know what to look for and can quickly curb an outbreak, but it's the small farms that are the main culprit in getting an outbreak started.
It's kind of difficult to identify if you've never seen it before.
If you notice your potato plant showing what looks like a target bullseye and the underside of the leaf is wet, act right away and kill the plant. One infection is all it takes to destroy an entire field because it travels through the air. Now, local farmers say that in addition to immediately killing any suspicious plants, you should also contact a local agricultural agent or a fertilizer company to make sure you stop that fungus dead in its tracks. Melissa?
Thank you, Rob. The Family Resource Center is an agency that helps low-income families by giving clothes and also home supplies to them.
As Newsline 9's Kevin Liu reports, the center was recently given new life.
About 2 months ago, the staff here at the Family Resource Center in Wisconsin Rapids thought the doors would close. But that's before some people who worked here got together and did something about it.
We decided we needed to do something to keep this open. We need to make it a permanent place in our community.
Too many people in the community needed it. So what we did was we put our heads together.
Carolyn Weber is the president of Hope's Door. That's the name of the new center when it reopens in August. When it reopens, Weber will be part of the all-volunteer staff that oversees the operation. That's how it will be run until the financing is more stable. The women are working hard because the center serves 15,000 people a year. And for Weber, being president of the center is vastly different than when she was a client nearly 2 decades ago.
I needed this place, and without it, I wouldn't have made it. We'd have been homeless.
The center will be run without any government support and will rely solely on private donations. They're always taking donations here, and they're looking for an attorney to do some pro bono work so they can achieve 501c3 status as a nonprofit organization. For more information on that, you can go to our web channel, WAOW.com. Reporting from Wisconsin Rapids, Kevin Liu, Newsline 9.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, here's something to smile about. Thousands of people visit the dentist chair last weekend at Greenheck Fieldhouse, and more than $1 million in free care was provided. All those smiles thanks to Mission of Mercy. On Friday and Saturday, volunteer dental workers served patients as young as 10 months to as old as 91 years. A total of 8,000 dental procedures were performed, including 1,800 fillings, 1,700 teeth extracted. For more history on the Mission of Mercy, check out our web channel, WAOW.com. And continuing with the smiling theme, some good weather.
It is beautiful out there right now, but things are going to quickly change here. And Tony, you said it's really going to steam up.
We're going to add about 10 or 12 degrees by tomorrow at this time, plus all the humidity, so it's going to be rather uncomfortable. Grand Avenue sky cam is showing a few clouds rolling across the sky, but no precipitation with these. And here's the live Wisconsin satellite radar view. There have been some fairly healthy thunder showers, just grazing far eastern Wisconsin, kind of rolling down Lake Michigan. Not an impact on us, but very warm temperatures moving in. It's in the low 90s in western Wisconsin, upper 70s to 80s around here. Heat advisory tomorrow from noon to 8 p.m. for heat indices over 100. Tonight's low only 73. It's going to be a balmy night. Back to you.
Thanks, Tony. Well, some criminals apparently got a charge out of stealing car batteries in the community of Wisconsin Rapids. 5 people told police that they had trouble starting their cars earlier this week. Then they realized that the batteries were gone. The thefts happened on Clyde Avenue and also on Sampson Street there. Police Lieutenant Brian Kriskowski told us that this type of crime doesn't happen very often.
It's unusual, but again, people will steal anything. Why they steal car batteries is beyond me, though.
He says in many cases the cars were left unlocked, and he says if you do see anything suspicious, of course, you should always call police.
A Wausau man charged with having sex with a 9-year-old girl enters a plea agreement. Brian Herron appeared in Marathon County Court today. The 41-year-old pleaded guilty to first-degree sex assault of a child. Prosecutors recommended a sentence of 15 years in prison with another 15 on extended supervision. A sentencing date has not yet been set. A Marshfield business may not be able to sell alcohol after falling behind on property taxes. We followed up on a report by the Marshfield News Herald saying Clearwater's hotel owners owe more than $90,000 in property taxes from last year. According to Marshfield city ordinances, businesses cannot renew their liquor license if they're behind on paying any sort of taxes. Marshfield city workers say they may be able to work out a payment plan with Clearwater's so they can keep their license. They could decide that next week.
A Cronenwetter man is headed to jail for a police standoff. Now, a judge has sentenced Stephen Borkenhagen to 10 days behind bars. He does get credit for 3 days already served. In April, police responded to Borkenhagen's home after he threatened a Veterans Affairs worker on the phone. According to court documents, Borkenhagen is an Army veteran who suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder after serving in the First Gulf War. 2 suspects appear in Clark County Court on suspicion of having and then making drugs. Joshua Harmon and Courtney Erickson were both charged with multiple felonies. Some charges include possession of meth and operating a drug house. Harmon and Erickson were arrested in connection with a series of meth busts that took place this past spring. 8 people were arrested during a raid of 3 homes in Taylor, Clark, and Wood counties. Harmon and Erickson returned to court on July 12th. The 4th of July, of course, just a couple of days. That means away right now, and people are really looking forward to it, and many of them will be taking a vacation up north.
A lot of people making plans. Kristen Reitz joining us with what to expect this upcoming holiday weekend.
Well, Minocqua tourism professionals say they consider this the busiest 2 weeks of the year. Business leaders tell me they already have tourists coming through, and they expect it to get busier. I drove through the Northwoods today, and as you can see here, beaches and shops already see tourist traffic. And even though tourism is an industry hit hard by the recent economic downturn, chamber leaders tell me they remain optimistic.
The gas prices are down a little bit. I think that helps, and I also think that people, sometimes that last minute, we've had a lot of calls this week saying, what do you have open? What could I find for the weekend?
Now, the visitor center at the chamber stays open around the clock for anyone looking for vacation tips. And of course, as Tony mentioned, the weather is going to be heating up through the 4th, and that means even more people will be staking out their spots on the beach. Brian.
Wait to get outside. All right, thank you, Kristen. Still ahead, your commute around Stevens Point may get a little easier.
But first, I'm Daniel Woodruff, live in Rib Mountain, where crews have finally finished a year-long construction project. That report straight ahead.
And discounts for riding your bike around town. We'll have those stories coming up.
Become our Facebook friend of the day. Go to facebook.com/Newsline9 and click like.
It's Pizza Hut's Cheesy.
All your coverage in stunning high definition with Melissa Langman, Brian Garoff, Tony Schumacher, and Jason Geiser. Newsline 9 at 6. Your trusted resource.
Welcome back to you. With the holiday weekend soon upon us, many people are enjoying the new road and the trail that leads up to Rib Mountain.
It took a year for construction to completely wrap up, and Newsline 9's Daniel Woodruff live in Rib Mountain with more. Daniel?
That's right, Brian and Melissa. This past Monday, crews completely reopened Park Road that leads up here to the top of Rib Mountain. As you know, it had taken about a year to complete this. They started the project in June of 2010. The mile-and-a-half project basically involved renovating the road and installing new asphalt. Now, in addition to the new road, crews upgraded the water and sewer systems, and they also built a new walking and biking trail that, as we have seen here standing here today, is very popular. We talked with one walker earlier today who says she feels much safer now that the trail is separated from the road. We also talked with an official from the Department of Natural Resources. He says the department has received several compliments about it.
The hiking trail has been proven to be very popular so far this spring. We've had that open all spring, and people are using it. We've seen a lot of people walk that have never walked before, so it's proving to be a very popular attraction.
The DNR also reports that it expects a lot of people to visit Rib Mountain this holiday weekend. Now, just standing here, we've seen people walk up the trail. It's about a mile-and-a-half from top to bottom. A lot of fun for people to come out, so we expect to see quite a few people again this holiday weekend enjoying it. Reporting live in Rib Mountain, I'm Daniel Woodruff. Back to you.
Definitely worth checking out. Well, from walking to biking, and we all know that bike riding offers many health benefits. Newsline 9's Anna Carrera reports if you take 2 wheels instead of 4 around the community of Marshfield, you could get some extra perks.
People who live in Marshfield say the city's already pretty bike-friendly, with separate lanes on roads and sidewalk space for more timid riders. Now, there's even more in store for two-wheelers if they grab one of these stickers to put on their helmet.
We've given out 300 stickers, and we actually have to order more. So far good. It ends at the end of July.
Bike riders already burn more calories than people who get from place to place in a car. For the summer months, they can get even more benefits, like free drinks, temporary tattoos, or discounts on bike accessories.
And that's not good just once, that's good for the entire run of this program. So every day they could feasibly get a 10% discount.
The Sports Den is one of 4 local spots chipping in for freebies.
It's part of a healthy lifestyle, and that's one of the things that we strongly promote.
Organization leaders say they're planning another sticker order, so there will be plenty more perks to go around. And by promoting good habits, they say they're planning for a more active future for everyone in Marshfield.
To promote biking and physical activity, and hopefully this program will encourage people to use their bike as a mode of transportation.
In Marshfield, I'm Anna Carrera, Newsline 9.
Thank you, Anna. Now moving from Marshfield to the community of Stevens Point. And people in that area take advantage of the warm weather by enjoying downtown's newest addition. The newly unveiled Matthias Mitchell Square is more pedestrian friendly by diverting traffic, and it offers residents more green space with a splash fountain. It also doubles the size of the city's farmers market. Merrill Park officials work to determine how to repair the Merrill Area Recreation Complex in the wake of April's tornado. Officials held a meeting where they discussed the available options for repairing the 96-acre facility. They say they expect to receive about $200,000 that will help in the effort, but they are yet to settle on a specific plan.
Just appreciate everybody's patience. It's been a long 3 months, and you know, we're looking forward to getting back to life as we knew it before the tornado.
Parks officials say they hope to take advantage of the repairs by not just rebuilding the damaged areas, but by improving them as well.
Still to come, bike trails in the Northwoods will soon cover a little bit more ground. We'll tell you all about that.
We can't get enough of our biking today.
I know, it seems to be a theme we've got going
And
here.
knowing Daniel, he would run to the top of Rib Mountain, but just not dressed for it today. But at some point, it's a nice view out there, a nice day. Tony's in next with your Future Track forecast.
Tonight's stock market report is sponsored by Ted Fox of Wells Fargo Advisors. Give him a call for all your investment needs.
The Count on
Nice day out there today.
It was. We've had a really nice week. Good to get outside. We've had reporters outside running and biking and all kinds of good stuff. A lot of people taking advantage.
Tomorrow might be a day you just kind of tone back some of your outdoor physical activities just a touch. Not a good day to go out and jog 10 miles tomorrow.
I don't do that anyway.
No problem for you, huh? Well, let's get going here with this weather. It's going to be a murky evening, a few clouds rolling through, but no precipitation expected. Just some low-level moisture making it feel quite humid. There's the view looking south. And a heat advisory in effect tomorrow from noon through 8 p.m. for most of the state of Wisconsin. And we're looking at heat indices that could reach up to about 105, 110 degrees in some spots by late tomorrow afternoon. Now, the far northeast of counties of Vilas, Oneida, Forest, and Florence not officially included, but you're still going to have some awfully hot weather too. The heat index there could approach 95 or 100, so be careful out there tomorrow. Also, a slight risk of severe weather mainly tomorrow night across the region. We are looking at the northwest half of the state, back into Minnesota, northern Iowa, western upper Michigan. This would be for some storms that are expected to develop Friday evening right around eastern Minnesota, northern Minnesota, and then slide maybe into northwest Wisconsin. Some of the computer models weaken them before they ever get into the heart of our viewing area, or at least kind of skirt them off to the northwest of us. So we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Otherwise, tomorrow is going to be a frying type of day. Sunshine returns, though, for Saturday and Sunday, but it'll be cooler and less humid. Still plenty warm for all your outdoor activities, but back into the 80s. There is at least a small chance of a shower later Monday as well. Well, our Weather Watcher Network had highs today generally in the 80s, 85 from Brantwood, 86 in Whittlesey with a trace of rain this morning, 82 for Eagle River and also in Merrill at the airport. To the south, we had some hot ones, 89 from Marion Almond, also 89 in Abbotsford, according to Gary, 86 in Marshfield, hit the 90s in Arkdale, and I'm sure tomorrow she might even get close to 100 in Arkdale. Today's high in Wausau, 84, the low 59 degrees, record high 100, record low is 40. Grass pollen today is 12, which is moderate. That might be causing you some allergy symptoms, and 83 degrees right now. The dew point is up there close to 70, feeling pretty sticky with a heat index of 87 degrees. Right now we're seeing mid-80s to upper 80s all the way from Wisconsin Dells up to Ashland, just a little cooler further east, and the really hot air is starting to move into western Wisconsin, 90 showing up there. The current heat index is at 102 in La Crosse, 91 in Phillips and Medford, about 90 in Stevens Point. Around the Midwest, boy, is it sizzling. 104 in Dodge City, Kansas, 90 in Sioux Falls. You really have to go a long ways before you find any cool weather. Around the region, we got some storms off to the east of us in Lake Michigan. Now, this model shows a chance of storms around La Crosse at 8 o'clock tonight. Don't think that's going to happen. We've seen no sign of that. Otherwise, just partly cloudy tonight and tomorrow. Hot and breezy. We're in the warm sector with gusty southwest winds. Tomorrow night, there's about a 30% chance of a thunderstorm. Higher chances in the northwest part of the state, and that front kind of falls apart, but it does usher in drier, less humid weather heading into the weekend. Warm and sticky tonight with a low of only 73, wind from the south-southeast at 5 to 10. Tomorrow's high about 95, hot, humid, and breezy. Southwest winds rather gusty. In Prentice tomorrow about 94, White Lake 93. Now further south we're expecting upper 90s, 97 in Port Edwards and Bancroft, 98 for Friendship. Some sunshine Saturday and Sunday, nice readings in the 80s, not as humid. More humid again Monday and Tuesday, highs in the mid-80s, maybe a thunder shower late Monday. A chance of storms on Tuesday, then dry and seasonal for Wednesday and Thursday. So overall, pretty nice weather.
Thanks, Tony. Well, in sports, the Brewers must beat former teammate CC Sabathia if they're to avoid a sweep in the Bronx.
Yeah, that was a tough assignment. Plus, high school hitters will be swinging a somewhat controversial new bat next season. We'll break down the change next in sports.
Want to feel great? Try Arby's new Shroom and Swiss. It's our tender, slow-roasted beef, sliced fresh and loaded to the limit with shrooms and melty Swiss. Arby's, it's good mood food.
It's time for all you pet owners to learn some new tricks. Catch Pet Paws every Wednesday morning on Newsline 9's Wake Up Wisconsin.
In 2009, a national rule was passed requiring high school baseball teams to use a newer and safer metal bat. That rule will take effect next season. Sean Giggy shows us how area teams are making the transition.
Few things signal the start of spring in high school baseball like the ping of a metal bat. But starting next year, that ping might sound more like a crack. As a result of a national vote 3 years ago, high school teams across the country will, in 2012, be required to meet BB Corps regulations, which are the new performance standards for non-wood bats.
The main difference is kind of the engineering of the bat. The old bats, ball would actually be coming off of the bat quite a bit harder than a standard, say, wood bat. So they kind of took all of that away.
An easy way to picture the difference between the old and new bats
is to think of jumping on a trampoline. The old bats would flex and allow the ball to enter the field of play at a high rate of speed, the same reason it's easy to jump high on a trampoline. But the new BB Core bats are a lot like jumping on the ground. There's not a lot of give, allowing the ball to come off at a slower rate of speed, something that should make the game a whole lot safer.
The manufacturers did their job of researching it and making sure that the bat exit speed is reduced, so the safety factor is the big concern.
With the new standards, every bat previously used will now be illegal, meaning high school teams must purchase an entirely new set of bats, something they know will stretch the school's pocketbook.
You hope that when decisions are made to switch to new bats, the people that make these decisions understand that schools have some financial problems.
To help ease some of the cost, the Wisconsin Baseball Academy is providing a free BB Core bat to some of the area's high school teams for the upcoming season.
We could offer them a bat for their guys to try this summer and fall, and that they could use in the spring before they have to go out and make those purchases. So the schools that have helped us kind of get to where we are, we wanted to try to give back a little bit.
Reporting in Wausau, Sean Giggy, Newsline 9 Sports.
College teams began using BB Core bats this past spring. Sean will examine how they dealt with the change coming up tomorrow at 6 and 10. The Brewers meet up with former teammate CC Sabathia this afternoon, trying to avoid a 3-game sweep at Yankee Stadium. But CC sets the tone early, striking out Ricky Weeks, Carlos Gomez, and Prince Fielder all in the first inning. It's already 2-0 Yankees in the third, and Mark Teixeira reports for duty. His 300th career home run makes it 3-0, which is more than CC needs. He mows down 13 Brewers, tying his career high for strikeouts, and all 13 come in swinging fashion. Sabathia scatters 6 hits over 7 2/3 innings. 5-0, the Yanks get the sweep. CC earns his big league best 11th victory of the year. Cubs and Giants, after Aramis Ramirez forced extra innings with a solo home run in the bottom of the 9th, Pablo Sandoval equals that feat in the 13th. His solo blast puts the Giants up 2-1, but in the home half, 2 on, 2 out, full count. Giovanni Soto making the home team walk-off winners for a second straight day. A 3-run shot gives Chicago a 5-2 win in 13 innings. By 11 p.m. tonight, both the NFL and NBA will likely be in lockout mode. The basketball boys failed to hammer out a new collective bargaining agreement during 3 hours of talks today. Their current deal expires tonight, and a lockout appears imminent. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and Players Union boss DeMaurice Smith brought a handful of owners and players, as well as a federal magistrate, back into their meetings today. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
I'm running in the special election against Jim Hoprin because he ran away from the job that he was elected to do. We're all frustrated with the problems that we're facing in the North Woods, but running away won't solve them. Like many of you, my husband and I are small business owners. We know what it's like to stand and face hard times. When tough choices had to be made on the budget, Jim Hoprin ran away to Illinois. I'll be your voice in Madison because I hear your message and because I've lived it.
Kim Simek for State Senate.
A bike trail in the North Woods will eventually cover much more ground.
The Boulder Junction Bike Trail along Highway M is set for expansion. 2 state grants totaling about $400,000 will pay for the project. Community leaders hope to complete the expansion by July of 2012.
A lot of people will be headed north this weekend.
Yes, they will, and hopefully they have a good fan in their cottage so they can stay cool tomorrow. But tomorrow's the worst day in terms of heat. We'll get up into the 90s. Dew points will be in the 70s, so the heat indices over 100. We will cool off a little for the weekend with sunshine in the 80s Saturday and Sunday.
Just one day of the extreme heat.
You got it.
That's roughing it. All right, thanks for watching.
Have a great evening.